Welcome to another Jedi Business video. My name is Chris B, and I'm here to take a look at the new Black Series 6-inch Boba Fett Deluxe figure, which costs $29.99. That's the MSRP, and it was released in March of 2021. Now, this version is an entirely new sculpt of Boba Fett based on the Return of the Jedi. And so let's take a look at what was in the box. So on the top left, you can see it comes with the jetpack and a removable rocket. And then below the jetpack, we have 3 flame accessories. One is for Boba Fett's flamethrower that goes into the gauntlet. And then we have 2 flame attachments, which can be attached to the jetpack. There's also a cable, which you kind of see wrapped around Boba Fett's right wrist. And then it also comes with 2 different blasters. One is cut in half, and the other one is his regular blaster. Now, looking at the helmet, though, you can see how deformed the helmet is here. That is a problem that we've seen several times now in the Black Series line. The last one where that really bugged me was with the Camino Clone Trooper. That just didn't look right either. But for this one, though, it's an easy fix. You can just heat up the helmet, heat up the plastic, and it'll go back to its intended form. If you don't have a hairdryer and you're thinking of boiling the helmet or the figure, don't do it. I've boiled figures before, and no, it didn't go well. The last time I tried that was with some old mini rigs that I had, because I thought, okay, I'm gonna have to get that dirt off, and so I just, I scrubbed them with soap and everything, and just wouldn't come off. And then I decided, okay, I'm gonna boil those, and I put them in hot water, and I basically cooked them for a few minutes, and then I took them out, and I thought, okay, they look a little deformed, but I'm sure that once it cools off, it'll go back. But it just never did, so basically ruined my mini rigs. So yeah, don't boil your figures or anything like that. Just use a hairdryer and heat it up, and it's really quick, 10 seconds or 15 seconds max, and this should fix the problem. Here's a look at what both helmets look like next to each other. On the left, you can see this is what it looked like right out of the box, and on the right, it's what it looked like after it was heated up. So, if you don't care about those kinds of things much, then just ignore it. But if you want to have Boba's helmet look better, you can definitely do that by heating it up. And like I said, it's really easy to do. So let's take a look at Boba Fett in its entirety on the turntable so you can see him from all angles. And just looking at this figure, I think it looks pretty kick-ass. I mean, it's a really, really cool-looking figure, right? And all the details seem to be there. The blaster, the helmets, the jetpack, the pouches on the front of the belt. This looks like Return of the Jedi to me, and it looks awesome, I think. So let's take a closer look at some of the features, though, on the figure. And let's start out with the helmet. And the rangefinder on the helmet is movable, so you can tilt it down, have Boba aim at something, or just put it back up and have it in a more neutral pose. The electronics on the front chest plate, they sculpted the details, but they forgot to paint it, unfortunately. The shoulder bells are made out of rubbery soft plastic, which is really cool because it doesn't look like it is soft plastic or rubbery at all. But it allows you to put the arms up more than 90 degrees, which is really cool if you want to pose them or those figures in a more dynamic pose. For me personally, that's not an issue. I would never have them aim that high, but it's still cool that they incorporated that. The jetpack plugs into a hole in the back of the figure. And the rocket, you can take it off or put it back in, and it all works well, really well actually. The thrusters on the jetpack, you can move those and have them face different directions, and then the flame accessory, you can unplug that or put it back in. Just make sure that you make sure that this thing doesn't rip off because it felt kind of fragile. The plastic cape works well. It doesn't get in the way. Wish it would have been soft goods, though, because that's what we've gotten with the basic Empire Strikes Back version. The Wookiee braids are sculpted onto the figure as well, and I think that all the details look pretty sharp overall. I think this is a really good-looking figure. The flame attachment for the flamethrower, this is how you attach it. So this works really well. My figure here had really stiff joints, so even if you put the arm up and you have the flame accessory attached, the weight doesn't move the arm down, which is really cool. Maybe that's a problem, you know, if you have it on display for a longer period of time, but right out of the box, this worked really well. Another accessory that figure came with is the cable. This is rather clumsy, I think, the way it attaches to the wrist. I mean, that's something that we know from the 3 3/4 inch line, and we've seen that many times in that line. But I think that for this 6-inch deluxe version, it would have been nicer to get an extra forearm where the cable just kind of shoots out of the gauntlet. I think that would have looked so much nicer. And the biggest problem for me here with the cable or this rope is that it's just way too short. Right, so look at this image here of Luke and Boba standing next to each other, and the rope only wraps around Luke once. And I think in the movie it's like 3 or 4 times the way it wraps around him. You cannot recreate that, unfortunately. And I don't know why they included such a short rope. And either it was a mistake by the designer or it was just a cost-cutting measure. But you know, seeing that this is a deluxe figure and already costs more, I think they could have really made this a little longer. But, you know, looking at some of the other details on the figure, I love what the blaster looks like, for example. They painted that really well. If you watched the last video where I took a look at the Black Series archive line, there was the Death Trooper, which is a re-release, and that figure, for example, came with 2 weapons which are completely unpainted. They're just cast in their simple gray plastic. Just doesn't look right. And we've seen unpainted accessories and weapons in the Black Series line many times, but you know, I think this Boba Fett figure is a really good showcase for what weapons and accessories really can look like in this line. And I think this looks awesome. And then the details, you know, the scratches and the battle markings on the gauntlet. And, you know, even details like the thruster, the black dots on the thruster, which are painted, look really cool. You have the individually sculpted cables on the back of the elbow, which look really cool. Yeah, so all the details that you would expect are incorporated into the figure. I wish, though, that they would have painted the legs a little bit better, because they just feel a bit too plasticky for me. You know, a subtle wash, especially towards the feet, would have been really nice, because it does feel rather plain. Another accessory which I really like is the cut-in-half blaster. You can really recreate this cool scene when Luke is slicing Boba Fett's blaster in half. The paint application, the yellowish on the blaster, might not be the best color. They could have definitely put some gradient on it, right? A little orangey maybe even. But I guess it gets the job done, and I still think it looks pretty cool. So overall, I think that this is a really cool figure, which could have been a bit better if they had painted the legs a bit better. If they would have painted those electronics on the chest, and maybe if the cable that's included would have been a bit longer. Another detail which I would have loved to see on this release is a soft goods cape. The plastic one that's included, it works, but it also, you know, it doesn't have any weathering on it either. And seeing that they can do a detail like that or soft goods like that on a $20 figure, I really wish they would have included the soft goods cape with this Boba Fett figure as well. So maybe that's something we'll see in a few years when they re-release this figure. And you know they'll re-release this one, right, for the 40th in a few years. So maybe that's something that they'll fix and improve upon. So the last picture I want to share is a picture of the currently available Diamond Select Gentle Giant figure that's exclusive to the Disney Store. I'm going to leave it up to you guys. What do you think is better or not? For me, quite honestly, I feel like the paint application on the Diamond Select figure is better. It also came with an extra set of hands. So, yeah, Hasbro, you know, you did a good job with this Boba Fett, but it could have been a bit better, I feel like. So there's a little bit of room left for improvement. But anyways, this is currently the only Boba Fett available based on the Return of the Jedi in the Black Series 6-inch line. It is a great figure, even though there is some room left for improvement. So make sure you add this one to your collection. And then I'm looking forward to seeing what they'll do in 2 years when it's the 40th anniversary of the Return of the Jedi and they'll re-release this. Hopefully we'll see some changes made to that and give us basically the ultimate version of Boba in his Return of the Jedi costume. So that's it for this video. More details, images, and everything you might need for this figure release is listed on JediBusiness.com. So check out the website. Pull up all the Boba Fett action figures next to each other on one page. Compare the heads, compare them from side to side, and see which one you like the best. So thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you on the next one.